Hey guys, welcome back. M.V.K there. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another recap for Flash. Um, this was the big crossover that we all been hearing about, and well, I'm here to talk about it for the first episode of the crossover, which started on Flash and will end on Arrow tomorrow. Um, this was a good episode, really good. Very much. This episode painted a picture in my mind of the synopsis and the theme, as well as the image of who each respected character are really kind of supposed to be playing off of. Like I said, this episode, I put it on my Twitter, and my Facebook, and I said I enjoyed the first episode of the crossover. It reminded me so much of the Batman Superman crossover that in the DC animated universe way back in the 90s. Very much did. So the episode really was very interesting in terms of we got to see certain aspects of both characters, as well as maybe some hidden feelings that Barry has kept inside of him. And it wasn't, sorry about that, guys. And it wasn't until the metahuman, Belova, Roy Belova, but basically follows Flash fans out there like yours truly. We all know that to be the Rainbow Raider, yeah, something like that, yeah. And he's able to put people in a fit of rage, and we saw that in the episode. It wasn't until later on that when they really started to track him down, Detective West and all of them, that was when we finally got to see Ollie. And then we get to see why Ollie is in Central City. And pretty much they came to ask Barry or Starlaugh for some help because of the boomerang they found. So we all know who's coming. Diggle in this episode really made me laugh because, some of the things that he was saying to Ollie, about Barry, like, can he do this? Can he do it? We've seen some stuff, but nothing like that. It was really Diggle who kind of had that, like, you guys seeing what I'm seeing? That kind of thing like that, which was really cool. I thought that was funny. And everybody geeking out, Barry at first, he just geeking out, just like, oh, we could team up, things like that. It was very interesting, but very much, like I said, Ollie felt like Batman in the animated universe when him and Superman first met, and how he was kind of instructing Superman how to do things. It's like you go head in first and you don't think, and things like that. And I think we've been saying that throughout the first 7 episodes, that Barry, he heads into a situation so quickly without really analyzing the possibilities of danger and things like that. And Ollie's calling them out on that. And he talked about him with, Leonard Snart, aka Captain Cold. And I love how he was like, we call him Captain Cold, and he's like, I'm not gonna, he just like the names and things like that. It was really funny. And we get to see that. It was every time I kept seeing it, I'm like, man, this reminds me of that Batman Superman crossover, just from the DC animated universe. I'm like, man, this reminds me of it. And you could see that Joe and Dr. Wells don't really want Ollie around Barry because they're looking at his reputation once again in the DC animated universe. At first, remember in Superman, the animated series, how Martha Kent used to say, "We don't want you acting anything like that lunatic in Gotham." It was like, man, it's like bits and pieces I'm seeing everywhere and everywhere of them painting a picture of the Batman Superman crossover from the DC animated universe. And of course they're trying to figure out, the boomerang, and they're talking about it vibrates. It's not just an ordinary boomerang. And then I was like, vibrate, and I was like, don't tell me they're gonna say vibranium, because they would have gotten in big trouble for that one. But the villain really, Rainbow Raider, in my opinion, really was kind of like he was kind of like the villain. His purpose was there, but it was just like, that's not really why we're here for. When he did whammy Barry, once again Barry goes right in head first, not thinking, and it just really starts to bring out this built inner rage, and just for Barry, he really goes into detail of his anger, especially with the captain, even with Ollie. Like, he goes on to say, you're jealous because you'll never be like me, and things like that. It was a real shocker at times. You see, like, maybe this is a point of, maybe it is a little bit of what Rainbow Raider did, but this is kind of a sense of, he actually means this stuff. Of course, Dr. Wells finds out who the Arrow is, and Barry, Ollie don't like that. And of course, we get to see basically that a task force has been okayed for the Flash. And when Barry was whammied, he did go after Iris's boyfriend. I'm always forgetting his name. And they kind of had it, and Iris kind of looks at that like, why are you doing this, and things like that. Little does she know that is because of Rainbow Raider, that he's acting this way, and things like that. And I knew right off the bat that was going to be like a set point that's going to get the okay to start the task force, as well as maybe have a little bit of a different perception from Iris's point of view. And you got to see that. It was kind of sad. The fight between Ollie and Flash was, in my opinion, done very well. The special effects used was really well done, the visual effects. It made both characters look strong. It didn't make one look bad and one look weak. So it didn't look that way to me. In my opinion, it made both characters shine in their own view. But it was funny just watching Diggle and the gang just like say who's gonna win. It was so funny. I was laughing my head off with that part. But they're able to free Barry from the control, from the rage. They team up and they catch Rainbow Raider off screen. We don't really get to see him get caught, but we just see him in the prison, and him like, I'm gonna get you back on. And Cisco's like, yeah, blah 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 blah, and Ollie's like, I have a prison like this. It's on an island though, but I have a prison, not bad. And then Ollie goes into detail, of course, about telling them why his identity is so important not to be told to everybody, because you put my family in danger, and things like that. And I guess you can kind of see that we come to an understanding of why they say that. But I like how Felicity was basically saying, try to sugarcoat it, but they were like, it didn't really sound like he said it like that, meaning like. So it was cool. Um, and of course, we get to see the outcome of what happened between Iris, and Iris basically saying, don't contact me anymore. And, Barry feels sorry about it, of course. But I guess, it is what it is. We'll see how this task force goes. Sooner or later, we all know that it's not going to last. And the one thing I also liked is the talk between Barry and Ollie when they're at the coffee shop about, he talks about, I thought he was going to say something about Dr. Wells, like, I don't trust that guy, don't trust him. But no, it was about Iris, and he's like, you gotta let her go for her sake and yours. Guys like us don't get the girl. And, that kinda is a little bit true, but then it's like, you could have said, if you do this, it's a dangerous road, but the ending before it went off was seeing a certain somebody, and wow, very interesting look for him. He looked a lot like the Human Torch or Hot Streak or Match. It looked a little bit, I thought he would look a little bit better than that. I can't really complain too much, but I did think, I'm like, Human Torch? Match? I'm like, really? It looks a little bit like that. But it was interesting nonetheless. I enjoyed it. This was a good indication of showcasing both worlds, that they do exist. Everybody knows about each other, and hopefully and if they could do this on the small screen, it's like, okay, now the big screen, we need to see two more iconic heroes come together. Yeah. So, and I've read articles that said so far the Flash versus Arrow has already trumped Superman versus Batman, but I'm like, how can you say that when we haven't even seen it? The movie hasn't even come out, so how do you say that? But it is what it is. Everybody's very to their opinion. Next episode is of course the man in the yellow suit. I'm looking forward to that. And of course, there's another part to this crossover in the next, when they do go after Captain Boomerang, Digger Harness. But other than that, I enjoyed this episode very much. You guys tell me what you thought about the Flash Arrow crossover, Flash versus Arrow, episode 8 of the Flash series. Will I be doing a thought video on the Arrow? Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't do recaps of Arrow. I just do season premiere and a overall season. But we'll see. Maybe I will. But other than that, guys, you guys take care. Leave your thoughts as always. I want to hear what you guys thought. You know me, I love input. And this is Mount Vernon Kid, the Omni-Geek High Lord of New York, saying peace and love. Stay tuned. Keep it real, guys. As always, I shall catch you once again when we tap into the Speed Force. As always, I'm out.